Disney has announced several possibilities of what's to replace Dino Land USA in Animal Kingdom. It began with Zootopia, but soon after evolved into a much better fit to the park with the Tropical America's Land. This was revealed by Josh D'Amaro last year during Destination D23, alongside this artistic rendering of what the land might look like in the future. Since then, many rumors, details, and even permits associated with this project have been flooding the minds of many Disney and Animal Kingdom fans, wondering what's to come and if this time the Tropical Americas will end up being built or if it'll suffer a similar fate as Zootopia. Well, in this video, we'll go over the latest information regarding this project, dive into several rumors and leaks, and even go over why this expansion will be a game changer in today's Disney parks and Walt Disney Imagineering.
Oh boy!
Before we begin, if you enjoy my content and this video, make sure to leave a like and consider subscribing as I upload weekly videos on theme parks from the past to the future. If you want to go the extra mile, consider becoming a channel member. You can find me over at Twitter, Instagram, Threads, and in the Discord community where theme park fans come together. Links are in the description. With that, let's dig in. So, as I said, last year we were presented with a Tropical America's Land concept that would replace the entirety of Dino Land USA, which includes everything from the Boneyard, the Triceratops Spin, and Chester and Hesser's Dinorama, Restaurantosaurus, and the iconic ride that is Dinosaur. With the concept we were given, it's possible to see the Boneyard playground will be replaced with some sort of flat ride. Dinorama would receive a major upgrade with an attraction around the casita from the hit film Encanto, and Dinosaur to get one as well, becoming a little more like its cousin Indiana Jones' Adventure in Disneyland. Details were few, if any, regarding much of this. However, with several leaks and rumors shared by insiders, we can get a better idea of what's to come. So let's see what they've been saying for the past year or so, starting with Indiana Jones. Dinosaur not only uses the same ride system as Indiana Jones' Adventure, but also follows a very similar path, which would make a retheme even easier for Imagineers. However, it seems like Animal Kingdom will not be getting the exact same ride as California, with a similar situation as Tokyo Disney Sea, getting a ride with the same IP, but with a different story. This time, something that could tie in the themes behind Animal Kingdom, be that in relation to the animals or conservation, with Indiana Jones, a character famous for archaeology and the conservation of history, both natural and extraordinary. With Indy having a strong connection to more mythical elements, and this is now me putting the armchair Imagineering hat on, I believe the ride could very well still have dinosaurs included in the storyline. I mean, we've seen aliens, spirits, and gone through time alongside Indiana Jones, so I don't think it's that far-fetched. However, I do believe it to be unlikely. The most probable outcome will be a similar story to the existing rides, with scenes such as the boulder being copied here, but with an overall Tropical America's sub-theme, architecture, and other story and theming elements. To the left of Indiana Jones, there's a very recognizable casita from Encanto, surrounded by the very vibrant river from the movie, which in itself takes inspiration from a real-life location, the River of the Five Colors. This will be a very powerful transition from the more realistic part of the Tropical Americas to the more fantastical and perhaps even cartoony side. After the many winding paths and bridges lies the famous house on top of a small hill. The casita is rumored to feature an attraction inside, and we'll get to what the ride could be like in a minute. Before, let's compare it to other Disney attractions around the world, the first being Phantom Manor. This is the Disneyland Paris equivalent of the Haunted Mansion. Here, it lies on top of a hill overlooking the entirety of Thunder Mesa, or Frontierland, very similar to what we're seeing here. Another similarity is the entrance to the attraction, which appears to be via the left side of the house. However, in this concept art, guests don't appear to be getting into it via the front door, which resembles another Disney ride, Hong Kong Disneyland's Mystic Manor. This is an amazing trackless ride whose facade and layout appear very similar to the concepts for Animal Kingdom. To enter this attraction, guests enter the foyer and explore the gardens of the mansion before moving into it. However, the inside might be completely different, so let's move on to what we might find inside, shall we? According to the rumors, there are two very different possible ride systems. The first would be a slow-moving Omnimover attraction. This is the same system as attractions like the Haunted Mansion, the Journey of the Little Mermaid, or Buzz Lightyear Laser Blast, or Ranger Spin if you're more familiar with the Magic Kingdom's version. This would be the first iteration of this ride system in the park, and could be very successful because of its high capacity. However, there's another runner-up, and that is a water boat ride. This could be something similar to Pirates of the Caribbean or even Navi River Journey. This type of ride can also achieve some very high capacity numbers. The area behind the proposed location is quite big and could easily get something about the size of Pirates of the Caribbean from the Magic Kingdom. The mountains behind Casita in the concept art and in these models that were quickly showcased by Imagineering suggest a big show building would be present, disguised as large mountains from the movies, further immersing guests in this tropical America's land. Now, when it comes to the attraction itself, unfortunately nothing is really known, but speculation is always fun, so how can Disney connect the story of Encanto to Animal Kingdom? Well, perhaps something to do with Antonio could be arranged, the youngest of the Madrigals, whose power is being able to communicate with animals. I believe something like a tour of the Casita, followed by Antonio's gigantic room filled with animals like capybaras, toucans, and hopefully friendly leopards, would be extremely fun. This would allow a new storyline to be created, and not a book report of the movie, even if that could work very nicely if well executed. Now, let's talk about the land itself. This week, two new concept arts were leaked, including this first look at the entrance to the land, giving us a better idea of how the land will look like from the ground. Here, there are a few elements that I believe to be very important details: the lack of IP and realism. If there's anything the original Animal Kingdom didn't lack, was realism, and some of that has been brought here with details such as the cables connecting the several structures of the Central or Southern American town. The archway entrance is also very reminiscent of the architecture from Southern American countries. From the entrance, a vibrant Latin American town appears filled with small houses, greenery and theming, reminiscent of perhaps Santa Cecilia from Coco, but not exclusively. Talking about Coco, the flat ride proposed for this location has had several rumored themes. According to Mickey Views, one of which being inspired by the amazing Disney Pixar film, possibly a carousel around the Alebrijes, which would be a very unique and colorful flat ride for the area. However, a new concept art was leaked by Mickey's Views that shows a different proposal, no longer themed around Coco, but to many Disney animal characters like Pua the pig from Moana, Kevin from Up, and Simba from The Lion King. Personally, I would prefer the older proposal, as it fits the theme of the land much better than this one, but with the surrounding area having nice theming, it could still work well. One of the main buildings here will likely be the biggest restaurant in the land, which in a way is very reminiscent of the Casa de Coco restaurant in Disneyland Paris. It's obviously a re-themed Restaurantosaurus, but it appears it also received an expansion, possibly to accommodate even more people coming to this side of the park. Now, another very big part of Animal Kingdom are the animals. I mean, it's in the name. Well, while it's not been confirmed, much like the rest of what we've been over, it's believed some small animal enclosures would be built here. So what kind of animals could we see? Well, in the Encanto area, something like capybaras would surely be a massive success, being a memorable part of the movie and very easily adaptable to the Florida weather. On the Indiana Jones side, Latin American monkeys would be a new offering with different species in the park, or perhaps something like a reptile or snake display, something that doesn't really exist that much in the park. And I'm sure Indy would enjoy his new neighbors, right? We've been over everything regarding the land, except the updates and speculation regarding construction and timelines. Well, back in March, Disney filed permits for backstage improvements regarding a parking lot for 4 Walt Disney Imagineering trailers and a third-party contractor trailer. Similar to past setups like for Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. This area, located behind Cali River Rapids and to the side of Rafiki's Planet Watch, will be connected to the road circling Animal Kingdom and appears to be for many projects to come, from its size and easy access to many expansion or rumor transformation areas, including Dinoland USA. Twitter user Belle, who also leaked the latest 2 concept arts, made a thread regarding what would happen to the current inhabitants of the land, like Marley the crocodile that is to be relocated after the summer to St. Augustine, or the storks that will remain in the park but soon call Discovery Island home. The after summer timeline is extremely interesting, as it might give us an idea of what Disney has in mind. In just a couple of months, the biggest D23 Expo to date will be held in Anaheim, California, and a final answer on what's to replace Dinoland USA is expected there, with new details such as the close date for the existing attractions. Another rumor suggests a project will happen in 2 phases, which I believe makes sense. The first being the complete closure of Dinorama and surrounding areas to start to work on the bigger part, as the dinosaur area should be a simpler transformation. However, Disney might just end up closing the entire thing at once. Hopefully this will all be revealed soon. With that said, you can probably understand what I mean by saying the land will be a game changer. I believe the land will be one because it's, in a way, a return to the old way of developing new lands. In the past few years, Disney expansions around the world have seen several lands being developed around just one IP, movie or franchise. A few examples being Cars Land, Pandora the World of Avatar, Avengers Campus, Zootopia in Shanghai, Arendelle in Walt Disney Studios and Hong Kong Disneyland, and of course the biggest of them all, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. While I love many of these lands for their immersion in that one specific setting, if you're not a fan of the IP, you might not really enjoy your time there. However, with the Tropical Americas, you are put in a location inspired by real-world places mixed with Disney stories, similar to classic lands such as Fantasyland. This way, you may not be a fan of Indiana Jones, but love Encanto, or the other way around, or even not like any of them, yet adore the town, its architecture, details, and offerings. Not being themed around just one IP also gives the land a lot more flexibility in terms of what can be included, from characters to even future attractions. In the end, it's great to see Disney go back to creating more diverse lands, not tied to one specific thing, but to many. And with that, we reach the end of the video. What part of the project are you more excited about? Would you make any changes to the proposals? Let me know down below. And now, as always, thank you for watching, and that's a wrap.